Hello and welcome to Saving Circle, where we help millennial professionals feel confident about managing their money. I'm your host, Vineet Prasad. On today's episode, we're coming up to the holiday season, and that also means we're coming up to Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the signature shopping days here in the US. And with that, I wanted to share some strategies about what's worked really well for me and clients I've worked with around planning for holiday shopping and Black Friday and avoiding getting swept up in the kind of capitalist maelstrom and frenzy that often happens and often leaves people not where they wanted to be in terms of their budget and their finances. So, with that, I'll jump straight into the three tips I have for today. The first tip, and this is going to sound really boring and fundamental, but it's super important, is make a list. I have used this approach for most of the holidays I've gone through, and it really works just to create a list beforehand before you go onto any shopping websites of the things that are important for you to buy, whether that's gifts for other people or for yourself. It really helps avoid a situation where you are going into a store or this Black Friday more likely going online and seeing all these things that the companies want you to buy, but you might not necessarily need or even want long term. So making that list can be super helpful. I'd also recommend setting a price target there for each item. It's very easy when you're on Amazon's lightning deal page or something like that to say, oh, that's a great price. But if you already have something, a baseline of what you're looking to pay for things, then you can just check against that and not get swept up. My second tip is also related to that the feeling and frenzy around Black Friday, and that is to avoid going on the home pages or the kind of central location for the shopping apps. The classic one is the Amazon Lightning deals. While that can be super exciting and is definitely set up to help our brains get really stimulated and excited around shopping, it can be really detrimental in terms of buying a lot of things that you don't need or don't want. So I would highly recommend, when you have your list, going solely based on that, searching for those items specifically, and not going to the home pages of whatever kind of your favorite brand or online marketplace is, because they are very, very good. They have people that are very experienced in human psychology that are very good at tempting us to just buy things we don't need and want. So I highly recommend avoiding those home pages to keep yourself out of the frenzy. The third tip I have is to consider buying some of the things on your list used. That's especially a good idea immediately after Black Friday, because a lot of people buy the latest and greatest things, say for electronics, for example, if they're buying a brand new TV and then they end up wanting to sell their old one. A good place for buying used things, there's of course Craigslist. I personally really like Facebook Marketplace because you can see someone's real identity before you meet up with them. And a friend of mine has actually done some informal research on this and seen that immediately after the new tech products are launched, the 1-year-old version, there's a big dip in the price, and it's still a very good product that you can get a lot of mileage out of. I've had success with buying things used in the past. It's also really good, better for the environment, because instead of something sitting around in the person's place who bought a new version of this, you're just taking that old version, you're using it, and no more harm to the environment has to happen for creating this new item. So I would recommend considering buying used, and immediately after Black Friday is a good time for that. Those are my tips for navigating Black Friday this year and managing to come away with the things that you want and need, but not end up in a situation where you're looking back and saying, oh, that was not great for my budget or my finances. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd greatly appreciate you leaving a rating or review. And if you ever want more tips on savings and personal finance in general, you can check out my website, savingsacademy.com. And with that, keep saving, my friends. Keep saving.